Not everything done at one time. Don't do this when you live in S1. This makes no sense.
More Haitian shanty towns being demolished as the cleanup effort continues.
The Ebola Task Force beefing up its preparedness efforts in the event the virus makes its way to our shores.
And the countdown is on to Carnival 2015. The Bahamas tonight. The National Report starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Everyday.
My house don't mark yet because I'm tell I don't have no place to go now.
That's the chorus of many foreign nationals living in those shanty towns, which are being cleared down because of environmental concerns. Good evening, I'm Charisma Robinson.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Keishla Adderley. Well, inclement weather delayed the demolition of a shanty town off the Milo Butler Highway this afternoon. Scores of homes are to be demolished, though when is unclear. We visited the area to find out if residents were prepared for the move.
Deconstructing a part of their lives wasn't something they anticipated they'd have to do. But an unspecified number of residents in this shanty town off the Milo Butler Highway spent the final hours in their old neighborhood salvaging what they could, while children played in the foreground of homes reduced to mere shells.
Hello?
When we arrived Thursday afternoon, things were quiet, but residents knew the old neighborhood would soon be no more.
I get place to stay yet. That's what I say.
So have they given you some extra time?
No, you give time.
Signs are all over. 24, 10, 14, remove.
According to the migrants, not all the homes were scheduled for a Friday demolition. We found 31-year resident Saint-Fleur Guilhem sitting on her porch, perhaps pondering the developments.
My house don't mark yet because I'm tell I don't have no place to go now.
Okay. So how do you feel about having to move?
Okay, that place not belong to me. Place don't belong to me. When you burn Haiti, nobody gonna push you, okay?
So what does this document mean to you?
That's my own. That's my own.
An NIB card. And your Bahamian passport.
I don't make that yet.
Okay.
No.
Oh, that's a Haitian passport.
Yes, Haitian passport.
This bus driver who didn't give his name doesn't live here but was checking on friends. Here's his unexpected take on shanty towns.
And this makes no sense. This code boat keep coming on every day because they know when they came they went free, you see. Even the government knock one down now. He live in S1. They go to next one again. Just make sure everything done at one time. Everywhere inside this country. At one time. Not everything done at one time. Don't do this when you live in next one. This makes no sense. Do all at one time. Now illegally people can stop coming inside this country.
No new date has been announced for the demolition, but based on the activities of the last several months, residents know that the writing is on the wall.
Well, since the demolition didn't happen today, ZNS News decided to visit the site again to see how residents are reacting to the delay. Here's Janaea Noel Ferguson.
When I build house, nobody don't give me that. I know that's government house. I see everybody build house. I build mine too. Now, government say you want to put everybody out. Now, I know I don't pay for that. I don't pay nothing. I get out too.
So where do you go?
I wait apartment. I live in an apartment.
That's what you do. So why not do that from the get-go?
I don't mad. I just gone. I don't mad. I know that I'm my property.
But for this resident, renting an apartment won't be as easy. So he has some other plans.
After that 3 weeks, I go eat. I live down, so I know money to pay apartment. I go. I don't have any money. Too much money for people. Sometimes I got 2 days. Sometimes I got 3 days. After that, sit down right there.
He showed us his documentation that allows him to remain in the country until January. He was just one of the residents who, piece by piece and nail by nail, dismantled their homes. What's interesting, though, is that these residents plan to ship the building material to Haiti to help their relatives. But for now, these residents said it's either live with family or move on.
Now? Yeah. I don't know. Unless I was no much that yet. No, I was no much like that. I said, tell God. I said to God. Nothing. I said to God. Thank you, God.
I got big children 20 years now, 23 years now.
Where do they live, here?
Yeah, I live in Nassau. You live in Nassau. No, I'm not here. My children, I got more little children live here. My big children don't live in a village.
Janae Noel Ferguson, ZNS Network News.
With a case of Ebola now confirmed in New York, the National Ebola Task Force is beefing up its preparation efforts against any potential threat. Various agencies met today at the office of the Prime Minister, detailing what will happen in the event of a suspected case of Ebola reaching our shores. Janae Noel Ferguson reports.
The National Ebola Task Force meeting again Friday as plans to combat any potential threat of the deadly virus continues to be rolled out.
Although we'll do our best to keep people from entering who are from highly the infected countries from West Africa.
And while passengers will be screened at the various ports of entry, there is a concern that the information they provide might not be the truth. Minister of Health Dr. Perry Gomez says data is the best option, even though countries like Jamaica are now using thermal cameras to screen passengers.
Nothing replaces the data, the information on patients and where you're coming from, nothing more important than that. And you can measure a temperature by the nurses when you see everybody. We will be seeing everybody at the airport.
Minister Gomez clarified that suspected Ebola cases will not be isolated at the Fox Hill Clinic as previously announced, but at PHA's critical care block.
4 of the 20 rooms in the critical care block at the Princess Margaret Hospital are isolation rooms. These rooms are specially designed to deal with contagious and infectious diseases. It's not fully open because we're waiting on more furniture for the entire room. But surely we have 4 beds and can turn on the switch.
All of our facilities in New Providence have identified a room within the facility that in the event somebody is suspected of being exposed or have Ebola, they will be confined.
A strong focus is being placed on the island of Grand Bahama because of the significant industrial activity, which makes it vulnerable to the threat of Ebola.
So we have changed our protocol with regard to tankers and ships bringing oil into Grand Bahama. With regards to cruise ships, we are now collaborating with the ship physician, the shipmaster, to have a status report before the ship arrives.
Thus, the evaluation determines whether there needs to be further evaluation on the ship, whether or not the persons on the ship are allowed to leave the ship. So a lot of times that determination is made based on the nature of whatever the issue may be.
Meanwhile, Gomez maintains that all efforts will be made to maintain the health of the country.
No expense will be spared in this effort.
Janae Noel Ferguson, ZNS Network News.
Well, a part of the hysteria surrounding the deadly Ebola virus may be the lack of knowledge as to where the disease originated and whether or not the authorities can successfully combat the crisis abroad and here at home. ZNS News decided to do some digging today to provide our viewers with some essential facts.
Ebola is not new. However, this latest outbreak in West Africa is the deadliest and far-reaching, having been declared by the World Health Organization's chief a crisis for international peace. According to the WHO, Ebola outbreaks began in 1976 in the Democratic Republic of Congo on the Ebola River and Sudan, with later outbreaks in Uganda and other African nations. Since May of this year, 10,000 people have died, infected mostly in Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Liberia. Ebola. 4,877 have died. Sadly, hundreds of healthcare workers have died while treating infected persons. Early Ebola symptoms mirror symptoms of other viral infections, but Ebola is transmitted easily from person to person in the later stages. Symptoms include fever, headache, body aches, cough, stomach pain, vomiting, and diarrhea. People who are most at risk are those in close physical contact with an infected person, like family members and the healthcare workers taking care of the patient. Researchers are racing to find a cure to treat and prevent the spread of Ebola. Already it has spread to the United States, the latest case in New York, where a volunteer doctor returned from West Africa contracted the deadly disease and is being treated in isolation. The first Ebola case in the U.S. was diagnosed on September 30th. That patient died on October 8th. On October 11th, a second U.S. case was diagnosed. A nurse who cared for the first patient at the same Dallas, Texas hospital was released virus-free today. A third case at the same site was diagnosed on October 15th. Among earlier confirmed U.S. Ebola cases were 2 ill Americans who returned from West Africa for the treatment at Emory University Hospital in Atlanta. They were treated and released virus-free.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Shell Ultra Low Sulfur Diesel.